Thank you for joining the presentation of Nectari Business Intelligence. On the call with me is Guy Gerard. He is the Director of Business Intelligence at Nectari. I am a Director of Business Intelligence at SWK Technologies. Thank you for joining. Any questions during the presentation, please add them to the chat box on your screen, and we'll address them at the end of the presentation. Okay? Thank you. So the goal here today is to review Nectari. And first we're going to talk about the feature functionality and the breadth of Nectari. And then we'll go into the presentation of the application showing two different pieces, the web interface and the Excel add-on portion of Nectari. And at the end, we can address any and all questions that may are produced or generated during the course of the presentation. About Nectari. Nectari is an intuitive user interface solution. Now, most BI solutions will tell you that their solution is intuitive and it's easy to understand. I can tell you from experience, both being an implementer of Nectari and also working with customers and their feedback, whenever my customers and clients look at Nectari's interface, they understand from the beginning how easy it is to navigate around the application, whether in the Excel portion we'll talk about or the web interface portion. It's designed to be a very intuitive, easy to understand and navigate solution. It provides a real-time access to enterprise data. What that means is we have pre-built templates that integrates to the transaction details of the specific accounting solutions that we integrate to, which are specifically X3 for Sage, Sage 500, 300, and 100. And at the same time, besides real-time access to the enterprise content, we also implement a data warehouse, an OLAP cube for sales analysis in your system. And understanding that we can slice and dice data across all transaction details and provide in-depth reporting along the way. The fact that the solution offers a pre-built templates, it allows for a very fast deployment of the application. We have pre-built integrations to, again, Sage X3, Sage 500, 300, and 100. So when we implement Nectari, it's a quick and easy to understand implementation. Included in the application is what's called a distribution module, which allows for the distribution of information or reports to a user or a group of users from within Nectari. So I can distribute a library of reports to a group or to a user based upon the frequency that makes the most sense for the recipients to receive the library report or a single report. I can bring it to a day, to a week, to a month, to annual, to a quarterly, whatever interval or frequency that makes the most sense, we can set up in the distribution module for automatic deployment to the recipients. Unlike most of the BI solutions, Nectari allows to manage budgeting and forecasting within Nectari, which is a very, very useful feature, unlike other BI solutions where you are not allowed to write back to the database. With Nectari, we opened up the ability to provide budget information through Nectari back into the accounting solution. So you can use Nectari as a collaboration tool to have each department of your organization to submit their budgeting through Nectari, which will in turn update the back-end accounting solution for reporting purposes of variance analysis and such. It's a very strong tool and very controlled through security access to the budgeting functions of the accounting solution. As I mentioned, it comes with pre-built templates, so it makes deployment rapid and right to the point. The Excel add-in module for Nectari allows for not just financial report writing, producing balance sheets, income statements, cash flows, and such. It also allows for managerial and or operational reporting across all different modules of your solution, whether it's manufacturing, distribution, HR, CRM, it doesn't matter. So you can, if you're comfortable in an Excel environment, you can use that well beyond just producing your financial statements. And obviously, with Nectari, given its cross-platform, we're able to integrate to any sources of information outside of the X3 solution. So I have a client specifically that has this legacy accounting system that they want to integrate their old accounting data alongside with the new accounting system, and we use Nectari to combine these two different systems into a common structure for reporting analysis to bring in the history from the old system, at the same time reporting on the current activity from the new system. So we have pre-built templates for Sage solutions. However, we also integrate to outside solutions which are not Sage specific. And because of all the feature functionality of Nectari, users are inherently empowered to be more productive and to be more informed and have more insight into the business because Nectari's well-matured application. And Nectari it's an affordable, but more importantly, it's a scalable solution because even though it comes with pre-built templates, you also have the ability to add additional data models to Nectari. So for example, it comes with a pre-built sales analysis data warehouse. If there's a need for a manufacturing data warehouse, data cube, or a purchasing cube, inventory cube, we can go ahead and build that additional cube into your solution. With no cost in terms of software, because you own the application, you're able to add as much data models as you need to for your business. And again, we have pre-built templates for the Sage product line, but we also cross-platform to other solutions. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Guy for the presentation. Okay, Guy, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so like Alex said before, we got different interface to access your ERP data. So it could be Sage ERP X3 or any other data sources. We got a web interface and an Excel add-in. The web interface is split inside two different interfaces. One is the browser interface that you can access from any PC or Mac with Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Firefox, or Safari, and the other one is the mobile application interface that you can access from any mobile device. So we'll start with the full web interface. So let's start it here. I will, of course, authenticate myself as a security administrator so I can show you everything, but everything is secure inside Nectari, so you don't have to worry about that. So on the left side, we have what we call the command center. So the command center is really where you will store all your different templates, views, graphs, dashboard, etc., etc. That command center, like I said in the introduction, is secure. So based on your security settings, you may see, as an example, the finance folder or not. So everything is secure inside that command center. And if I open one of those folders, like the cells, what we call templates, and the views inside the templates are also secure. So you can do security on the command center, but also more than that, you can do security on the columns and the data itself. I'll explain you one example right after. If I collapse here the sales analysis, everything that you see here in the command center, so sales, CRM, finance, logistics, etc., are coming out of the box for a customer that has Sage ERP X3. So when we install Nectari for a customer with Sage ERP X3, you're starting with all those reports out of the box. So you have a fast ROI. So day one, you can start navigating and using Nectari to analyze your data. So let's go into sales analysis to so that I can show you the navigation of the product and what we can do with that product. So I will open the first one, sales by sales rep. And if you notice the icon here, it's a grid. So we have multiple different type of views. So we got grid, we got graph. If I go down a little bit, gauges, maps, etc., etc. So we have many different ways of looking at your data. So let's open the first one, sales by sales rep. It's a grid, so we'll get columns and row, of course. So in that case, it's sales information. So I got amount, cost, margin, etc., etc. And currently, it is grouped by year. So I have one row by year. On the top section, it's what we call the grouping area. So the first grouping is year, second grouping, sales rep code, and then customer code. So if I explode the year, I'll see my sales rep inside that year. And if I explode the sales rep, I'll see my customer code. Those grouping can be, of course, changed on the fly. I'll show you that in a few minutes. And it's the same thing for the column itself. So those columns, I can flip them around if I want. So I can take, as an example, the cost and move it right before the amount just by drag and dropping. It will be reorganized in the current view. I can hide a column by clicking the X. And I can also use what we call the organizer to change my layout. So I can come in my organizer and choose one or two columns here and hide those columns. So I'll just do a right click and remove. So my layout has changed. Of course, you can also resize your column if you don't see, as an example, the margin percentage headings property, so you can resize everything. And if you want to add something dynamically to your current analysis, you just go on the top right section called Dimension and Measure, and you can pick anything that you want from there. And of course, it's all the fields that you have access to, and you can pick and drop them in the report. So as an example, I'll take my quarter and just drop it between my year and sales rep code. And I will go down a little bit in my customer statistical group, and I will choose my customer territory and move it between the quarter and sales rep. And if I want, I can add extra column as well. So now if I explode my year, I'll see my quarter inside it. If I explode the quarter, I'll see my territory, and inside my territories, I'll see my sales rep code. So this is the basic of the navigation. Every user is able to do that very easily, and they can customize their report like they want. So once they have customized it, they of course want to save that report. They don't want to redo all that manipulation every time. So they will go in the save icon here. And if they are the owner of the report, they can just override it. If not, then they can create their own version of that view. So I'll do a save as, and I will save, as an example, demo Nectari SWK, and I will choose to who I want to publish that. So who will see that view in the command center? Is it public, so it means everybody that have access to the sales analysis, or maybe a specific group like finance or Rep Canada or something like that, or myself, the administrator. So I'll leave it as star public, and then I will just confirm. We'll go back to the other option later on. So I'll just say OK here. I'll close this view, and if I go down in my command center, I will see demo Nectari SWK. So if I reopen it, of course my data will get refreshed, but it will be displayed exactly like I did save it before. So with those three specific columns, with the margin a little bit larger, and with my quarter and customer territory. Next thing that you may want to do here is create what we call a pivot. So currently my data is grouped from top to bottom, so my year, quarter, territory. But if I want to have, as an example, my quarter from left to right inside a pivot section, I will just take any of those dimensions and drag and drop it inside the pivot section. So now we'll get one set of my column for each quarter. So very easy to do. And I can continue to drill inside my information. So I can explode the year 2011, and I will see by territory and by quarter my amount, margin, and margin percentage. I can move on the right. But when I do that, you probably notice that I lost my first column that represents my grouping. So I'm not too sure what I'm looking at. So I may want just to freeze that column, and then when I will move, that column will stay there, and I always know what I'm looking at. Okay? You can do multiple levels of pivot if you want, so by year, quarter, company, quarter, etc., without any problem. You can also easily add KPI if you want inside a view. So as an example, I would like to have my margin columns in red or maybe yellow or green when my margin percentage is good or bad. Okay. So what we'll do is just right click on the margin this year, and I will do column formatting. Currently, there is no rule defined, so I will create a new rule. And I will say that my rules for my margin this year, I want to base it on my margin percentage. And when my margin percentage is less than, let's say, 20%, I want to put a small red bullet to say that it's not very good. Maybe I want to change my font color to red. I will leave my background as is, and I will just say OK. I can add as many rules as I want. So let's create a second one. In that case, I'll again base it on the margin percentage, but then I will do greater or equal to 20%. And then let's put 0 to 20%, and then I will put a green bullet to say that it's good, and that's it. I'll just save it like that. And I will say OK, and my KPI will be applied everywhere in my grid. Okay? Currently, I don't have any total for all my quarter. So if I want to get a total, I'll just right-click and do Show Total. So it will give me a new column for the total of all my margin columns. Okay? So very easy to do. If you notice that one of those numbers looks strange or good, and you want to share that information to somebody else, so you want somebody else to take a look and analyze a little bit more deeper the information to find where the problem is coming from, we have multiple ways of achieving that. So you can do it by doing a file and doing a print or an export to PDF, HTML, or Excel. Or you can even use what we call the edit comment. So you will just call the edit comment here. And then you can use your pen and maybe circle a number here, put a question mark. You can add some text. So add something somewhere. Maybe you should put that in a different color. But I don't know why it's 0, something like that, okay? And then you just send that by email. So very, very easy to share the information to the other people. The other way of sharing the information is by using what we call the distribution module. So we can, two different ways, distribute the information. So the first way is as a regular end user, I just create a new report, demo Nectari SWK. I would like maybe to receive that report every Saturday morning when I work at home. So in order to do that, I'll just right click and do subscribe for distribution. I don't even need to call the IT department to say, hey, would you like to send me a report every Saturday morning or something like that? I can do it by myself. So I'll just do subscribe here. I'll put a description here, my sales report as an example. And then I will choose the format. Do I want to receive it in PDF, HTML, Excel? What I want to put as the subject and body of the email that I will receive. And what is the schedule? Do I want to receive it only one time, daily, so every day, or maybe weekly on the weekend, or monthly? You can choose your month. You can choose the day, so first day, last day, etc., or even maybe the first Monday of every month. You do your subscribe, and then you will receive an up-to-date report in the format that you have decided inside your inbox. So very easy, again, to subscribe to any report. As an administrator, you will go in the administration pane, and you will go in the scheduler, and then you can schedule massive distribution. So you could, as an example, create a new job, put a description here, sales, or let's say commission report or something like that, commission report, and then you will choose your view. So which view I want to send? Maybe the one that we just create together, so demo Nectari SWK, and maybe more than that, maybe an aging report, so the customer aging balance, and maybe the top 20 customers. So you select multiple views. So you can send in the same email 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 reports if you want, and for each of them you can choose what format you want to send that report on, so PDF, HTML, Excel. You can also distribute Excel added views. So we will see that at the end of the demo, how within Excel we can access real-time data and build the report like we want. Those reports are dynamic and can also be distributed automatically. So here I will just add an Excel file. I will choose the sheet that I want to send, the format, and I can even customize some parameters that will be changed automatically in my Excel sheet. Then I will choose who I want to send that. Guy, myself, maybe the finance group. Okay. I'll put my subject and body, and I will also choose the same type of schedule. Two things here to keep in mind. First thing, the security will be taken into account. I did not talk too much about the security, but when you have a report like this one, so let's close this here 2 seconds. When you have a report like this one, if you set some security on the margin and margin percentage that you want only the manager group to have access to, Everybody can open, as an example, that same report, but only the manager will see the margin and the margin percentage. The other people will just see the amount. So you don't have to create multiple versions of the same report. The data inside the report will also be automatically adjusted. If, for an example, you have multiple companies and you want each company to see only the data from their company, you can do that. Or each sales rep to see only their own customer, as an example. So you can do those type of restrictions. So everybody open the same view, and the data will get adjusted automatically, and the column will get adjusted automatically. So when you distribute, it will be also be taken into account. So you can do one distribution to 50 people. Each people will receive it with the column that they have access to with the data that they have access to. And also, I did not talk about that, but in the language that they are. So if 25 people are working in English and 25 in Spanish, you can have the report set up so that they can receive with the English or Spanish headings based on their current settings. Okay. Second thing to keep in mind with the distribution is that it will not take a concurrent user. So you can have, as an example, 5 or 10 concurrent users for the BI. So this is for people that go inside Nectari and open the view, do navigation and filtering and things like that. And maybe you want to push to 25 or 30 people a static report. Then with the distribution module, you can do that, and you don't need any concurrent user for that. You just need to add the distribution module in your package. Okay, so that could be really nice. You can do a mix and match with that. Okay, so that was for the distribution. So I'll go back on the navigation. I'll just close that view without saving it. Reopen the demo Nectari SWK view here, and I will show you a few features about the filtering capability of the product. So you don't always want to see the entire data set. So sometimes you want to really analyze something more specific. So some customer, some product, promotion, anything. So in order to do that, we have multiple features. So the first one, very easy to use. You just select what you want. As an example, 2011, 2012, and you just do add selection to filter. It will filter your data on that automatically, and you always see at the bottom of the screen the current filter. Okay. If you want to exclude something, you can open anything, select, let's say, quarter 3, and just do exclude. So now it will be 2011 and 12 and not quarter 3. If you want to select a specific customer, and you got thousands and thousands of them, you don't want to open each of those groups and then find your customer, select them, and do add. It's too long. You will get crazy by doing that. So you want a way of searching inside a list. So we have multiple ways of doing that. The first one is called the prompt feature. So you can right-click on any of those columns or grouping and just do show prompt, and it will give you the list of customers. In that case, I can, in my advanced filter, search by doing starting with anywhere exact value. So let's use the anywhere, and I will look for any customer that contains bike in the description. So I will get all those customers, I will select only 2 of them, and I will do an apply. So now it will be year 2011 and 12, not quarter 3, and only those 2 customers. If instead of having all that filter here, you just want to see those 2 customers, no matter what is the year or the quarter, then instead of add selection to filter, you will do filter by selection. So if I do an apply, instead of adding to the existing filter, it will override the existing filter by the new one. So currently it's only those 2 customers. I can also go on the top here and see all my other lists that I have. So I can say, show me my list of territories. And then I can select some of those territories, say my OK, and then it will filter my data on those specific territories. Once I got those territories filtered, maybe I would like to save that view with that filter. I can do it if I want. Or I can even do better than that. I can do a save as and save the filter only. So it will only save my criteria. So let's call this how much I have for territories. Okay. So I will do an OK, and it will create me a small funnel here, a small filter. Why I'm doing that? Simply because I can now apply that filter to any view that I have. So if I go on the top and I open my first view that we saw together, sales by sales rep, I got that look. But now I would like maybe to see only those 4 territories. So then it will be refreshed, and I will see only those 4 territories. You can even combine filter together. So as an example, if I filter those 2 years, I'll just do a new filter here. So year 2011 and 12. I'll resave that one, save as, and I will call it 2011 and 2012. A small filter like this, I'll say OK. And then I open another view, I don't know, maybe customer sales by year, something like that. And then I will say, show me only those 4 territories. I get only those 4 territories. Show me only those 2 years. I get only 2011 and 12. Or combine them together. So I will right click and do add to filter. So it will be only those 2 years for those 4 territories. So I can combine those filters to any view that I have. So very powerful and very quick to apply and to use. So everybody is able to do that. We got also an advanced filter window. I will not go inside that, but you can do manual filter, a more advanced filter. So to compare, to do date calculation, compare 2 fields together and things like that. We got also what we call selection page. And to show you that, I'll go inside the financial report to show you an example. So I'll go in my GL transaction detail here. And as you know, inside the GL detail, you got a lot of transactions. So all your posting for all your company, period, etc. So it's a lot of detail. So in order to speed up things when you want to find the information, we can attach a selection page to any view, report, graph, etc. that we want. So in that case, when I open it, instead of opening all the data and then doing filter, it will ask me some question. You can put some field that is mandatory or not. It's up to you to decide what you want to do here. And then I can select what I want. Do I want a specific fiscal year, period, fiscal department, etc. In my case, I'll select some GL account. I don't know them by heart, so I'll call my prompt. And then it will give me my list of GL accounts. I'll look for all my GL that contain costs. I'll say OK, and I will ask for all my years and ledgers. So I'll just say OK here, and then I get all my details. I'll just drill down in all those groups to show you the transaction details. So I'll go in the fiscal year 2, fiscal period 1. Then I will see only my cost account because it's the one that I have selected. So I will explode my cost account, cost of sales, one of my product lines, and then I will really see my transaction detail itself. And here I have my transaction currency and my ledger currency. Okay. So very easy to find your information. You could just select an invoice number or something like that, a document number, and you go right at the information that you want to look at. So very powerful again and very easy to use. So let's load this. I'll go back to the sales analysis, and let's get back to the demo Nectari SWK. Next option that I want to show you is the capability of doing a ranking very easily. So I would like to get my best customer, best product by years. How I do that? So I'll take my customer code, bring it right after the years because I want to get them by year. I'll go in my list of dimension. I'll choose my product code and move it right after the customer code. So if I explode my year, I'll see all my customers, but they are ranked by customer code. It's not what I want to do. So I want to do a more advanced filter than that. So instead of doing a regular sort ascending or descending, I'll do advanced option. And then I will say, sort them by margin in descending order. If I leave ascending, it will be the worst one to the best one. And in descending, it's the best one to the worst one. In addition to that, I may want to say, give me only my top 5. And then I'll say, OK. So now if I explode my year, I'll get my top 5 customers in descending order based on the margin, and all the other customers are grouped inside the other group. So my total for my year remain the same, and I can compare my top 5 versus the remaining. And I can even explode my other to see what is all the product that all my other customers did buy. And I can do the same thing with product code. But in that case, I'll say top 3, and based on the amount instead of the margin. So now if I say OK, I'll get my best 5 customer, and inside those best 5 customer, I'll get my best 3 products. And if I flip product first, it will remember that, and it will give me in my year, this is my best 3 products, and who bought those best 3 products. So again, very easy to set up. Everything is dynamic, real time, and again, I say it often, but easy to use. We want to empower the end user with that tool so that they don't have to rely always on the IT just to change a column or something like that. Okay. Next option that I want to show you is what we call the link to or the drill down. So the link to or drill down, it's an option to give you more information than what you have access to in the current process. So actually, I'm looking at the sales data. Maybe I would like to have more information about those products or those customers. Maybe for those products, I would like to know if I got inventory, work order in production, open order, things like that. So I will just right-click on a customer or a product, and I will do link to. And it will give me a list of everything that I can access from a customer number. So I can go in my returns order, APAR due, my aging balance. So let's jump inside the aging balance. So I will go inside my aging balance for that specific customer. I don't have anything. So let's select maybe more than one customer to try to get some information here. So aging. So there we go. So if I upload everything up to the end, I'll see by customer, by type, my invoices with my aging. So very easy to jump from one process to the other process by passing value. And you see that it did filter on the 4 customers that I have selected. And from here, why not selecting a document number and doing link to? And I could jump inside my GL transaction detail, but I could also go inside X3. So why not going inside X3 to see that document? So it will trigger X3. Oops, my X3 is not. Okay, there we go. So inside X3, and then I will be in my document 86, and I see my detail for that specific document. So if I go back, I'll close this here, and here I could do the same thing, select a customer, do my link to, and jump inside X3 to see my customer screen for that specific customer inside X3. Okay, and I'm in X3, and I can really do whatever I want. So let's close that and return to my BI. Okay. So that was the link to, very, very powerful, and everything is dynamic. So as soon as you create a new template, because of course we deliver a bunch of templates out of the box, but you can customize them or create new ones. So when you will create new templates, they will be automatically linked to your existing template. Of course, if you configure them properly, but it's very easy to do. So when you will right-click, you will be able to jump from one template to the other. Even if it's not all X3 data, you got an external system, your legacy system, and if it's the same, let's say, product number or customer number, then you will be able to link and jump and go get your historical data or anything that you want. Okay? Next thing that I want to show you is simply how to create a graph. So I'm currently inside a worksheet. I could create a graph from scratch, or I could transform that worksheet inside a graph. So it's what I will do. I will simply go and find my view type and choose one of those view types. There's many view types here. I will not go over each of them, but I will open at least one to show you. And I will open that basic one, the bar graph. So it will keep all the same column and grouping. So the grouping will become a drill down inside the graph. And you can use that graph the same way. If you don't like the look, you just go in the chart properties. And then you can change some stuff. So you can remove here the year 2003 to change it for values. You can go in the layout and maybe change the legion size. So I will just minimize that a little bit like this. And I will change the color maybe to expression dark. Then I don't want my margin percentage here. Let's just remove it. So I will remove that column. And I have the same drill down. So if I select a year, I'll see my top 3 product. If I select a product, I'll see my top 5 customer, etc., etc. And of course, I can change that. So I can take my quarter, move it at the second level. So let's just drill up here. So I'm in the year level. I drill down, I see my quarter, and then I will see my top product by quarter. Okay. So again, it's very easy to do. You just do your save as, and you got a graph done that you can use, of course, after that inside the dashboard. Let's go in the dashboard now just to show you quickly. Okay. So I'll close this here. Go in the dashboard. Of course, there's many more options that I can show, but we don't have like 2 hours, so I will show you the most important one. So let's go in the dashboard here. I'll go in sales. This is an example of a sales dashboard. What you need to understand is inside the dashboard, and you see here I got like 1, 2, 3, I got 8 different views that I just mixed up together. They could come from as many data sources as you want. So some can be from your SAP GRPX3, others from your CRM or your production system that sends some information in your SQL database. It could come from anywhere. And all those views can talk together. So currently, it's all dynamic. So even in my map, so I can move inside my map. I can drill down. I can do mouse over to see my information. The color of the circle can be based on the logic that you want. So when you have a good margin, it's green. A bad margin, it's red, etc. You can choose the data that you see inside the mouse over. Same thing with all those information here. I can click on anything and filter my information. So currently, my year 2011 is selected. So it's my quarter for 2011, my month, etc., etc. If I choose 2012, it will just filter automatically everything on 2012. And now I see my data for 2012. If I want to see only Northeast, I select Northeast, and I will see 2012 Northeast data. So I have only those two customers here. If I want to get more information about those customers, I'll just right-click and do the same link to option here. And then I will say, maybe I would like just to see my invoices for those customers. So it will go inside the invoice for that specific customer. So I can explode by double-clicking up to my document node. I can select multiple documents, link to again, and go in my GL transaction detail. Inside my GL detail, why not putting my account code first? So I'll see my receivable versus ship, sales tax, sales revenue, etc., etc. So as you can see, even from a dashboard that is very easy to set up with just drag and dropping, you can easily filter your data, drill up to the transactional data. So again, a very powerful tool. Everything that you do here or you create as view or dashboard are also available within the mobile device. So let's open the mobile device. So I will open it here in Google Chrome to show you, so that I can share you easily with you through the WebEx. But it's working on all the mobile device. Let's imagine that this is an iPad, okay? So what I'll do is authenticate myself first. So I'll just authenticate myself, and I will get on the left side the same command center. Inside a phone, instead of saying that like this, because I'm an iPad or a tablet, Nexus tablet or something like that, it's larger, so we have more space. So we allow to have the command center and a space for the view. Inside a phone, you will get the view like just with the command center like that, and when you will open a view, the command center will get removed and you will see the view in full screen. So let's show like if it's an iPad. So I'll go in sales analysis. I'll go at the end, and I will see demo Nectari SWK. It's the view that we did together. If I don't have anything special to do, it will be automatically available in my mobile device. So let's open that. I will get my view. Oops. Usually I should get more data here. I don't know if I say this with that filter or not. I don't think. Okay, this is not good. Okay. So I will get my view like that, and then I can select any year here and just do my drill down to get to the next level. And then I can drill and drill and drill as I want. I can also flip my things around, so I can put my customer code as the second level if I want. And then when I will select a year with my finger and do a drill down, I'll see my customer as the second level, and then my sales rep code, etc., etc. I have access to my favorite that I did not show you, but also my dashboard. And if I go on my dashboard, I'll see the same layout that I have in my web application. And I can, with my finger again, drill inside the map or select a territory, and then it will filter automatically on that territory. And then I can select here a customer to see the information about that customer. So what you need to keep in mind is, as soon as I do a new view, it's available in my mobile device. So I can have real-time access anywhere that I am through my mobile device to my enterprise data. So very powerful and very useful. So for the mobile, it's not longer than that. I'll stop there, and I will go to the Excel edit. So I'll open a template here where I got some predefined reports. So I'll authenticate myself because, again, it's one common product. So it's all the same security layer everywhere. You don't have to redefine that for all the different interface. So as soon as I log, it will refresh real-time the data. So I don't know if you noticed here, if it's too late, but maybe you noticed it. It went from 0% to 100% very quickly. So all my tabs here, all my balance sheet, trial balance, etc., did get update real time from my Sage ERP X3 data. Okay. So what I'll do is show you some example of report that you can do, and after that, we'll build that trial balance from scratch together, okay, in like 1 minute or something like that. So I'll show you an example of balance sheet. So a regular balance sheet, where all the number, if I click on one of those numbers, are coming through a formula. And don't worry, you don't need to know that formula by heart. That formula, we have a wizard to build them, and I will show you how it's working. What you need to understand is that those numbers are real time from your ERP. So if I flip here from period 4 to period 6 as an example, I don't know if you noticed, it went very fast, but it did get update and change all those numbers automatically. So I could select a period, a year, a company, the financial dimension, a pyramid section, a reporting group. You can do whatever you want, okay? So if I select a specific company here, 20 instead, then it will filter on 20. I can put back a star, and then it's consolidated for all the company. I could also do one column by company or do whatever you want. It's Excel, it's cell by cell, so you can format it really the way that you want. So trial balance, in that case, just want to show you that I'm using Excel slicer to filter my data, okay? Income statement here. So again, I can change the period here and it will get refreshed. And what I want to do is show you some other option that I have in the Excel add-in tool. So if I go in the add-in, you will see all the buttons that you have here. So first option that I want to show you is the drill down option. So if I select 2.4 million here, it's my sales revenue. It's very good, but I would like maybe to know where that 2.4 million is coming from. So I want to drill inside the information. So I will just click the formula drill down, and it will automatically create me a new sheet with all the transaction detail, with all my column, all my information. And if I select my ledger posting column, you will see 2.4 million here. So it's really all the transaction that give me that amount, okay? And it's dynamic. So if I flip to period 6 and I do drill down, then I will have all my transaction up to period 6. The other way of doing drill down is by doing the open view here, using the open view. The open view will use the power of your BI and combine with the power of the Excel add-in. So I got 2.4 million, but I don't want to explode it up to the last level detail, you know, like we saw just before, where you got all the transaction one by one. Maybe I would like to see that 2.4 million by product line or one of the analytical dimensions. I will just do open view, and I will select one of my BI view here. And if I go back in my BI, and I go in, let's 2 seconds, the WebEx is, okay, I don't know if I can, comment center, okay. If I go back in my BI here, and I go in my finance, GL transaction detail, it's those views that I see in my list of choice. So if I create a new view, because I want to have a new way of drilling inside the information, then that new view will appear in the list. So let's choose, in that case, in order to show you the example, the posting by product line. So I'll just say OK. And then I will get my BI graph. I need to authenticate, of course. Let's do the keep me fine, so it will not ask me anymore. So I'm doing my login, and then I got my 2.4 million by product line. And then, I mean, it's web, so I can do whatever I want here. I can flip things around. So if I want to see it by period instead, I'll flip by period, and then I will see my number by period. Or I can flip from pie to line, and then I will see my sales revenue inside a line graph for the last 5 months, because, of course, my year-to-date is up to the month 5. Okay, just to show you that you can drill and navigate inside your information the way that you want very easily. Of course, we can use also the power of Excel to do what-if analysis. So I can go in my what-if scenario as an example here, and just use. I'll just move that a little bit on the top here so that you can see it in action. So let's recall the scenario manager. Currently, I'm in the worst case, so the what if, look at that column here. If I choose best case instead and I do show, it will get updated real time. So now I'm in my best case scenario, and if I flip my period, everything gets updated, of course. You could also use a manual what if like that. So what if my sales revenue is 2% higher, then all my number gets recalculated real time, and it's always based on my real time data that is coming from my ERP. So income statement monthly, income statement by department, sales dashboard, just to show you that we can bring any data from your ERP. It's not only financial data. So let's do a trial balance from scratch, and I will try to do it in less than 2 minutes. Okay. First thing, I already put some headings and things like that just to save a little bit of time. So first thing that I want to do is get my list of GL accounts. So of course I could type them one by one, but it will take me forever, and it will not be dynamic. So I want, if I create a new account in my system, never ask it, have to go in I don't want to go back in my Excel sheet and add this account manually. I want this account to be added automatically for me. So I will use a feature called data extraction. So let's call that feature. That feature can be used for many other things, but here I'm using it only to build my list of GL accounts. So I will say, I want to extract data from my GL transaction detail. I could use instead a template based on my chart of accounts. It's up to you. I'm using GL transaction detail because I only want to get my account where I really get some transaction. So after that, I need to choose my environment. Is it my prod, test, pilot 1, pilot 2? If you got multiple folder in X3, you can access all those folders if you want. I can filter my data. Do I want the GL transaction only for a specific fiscal year, ledger, etc.? What is the column that I want? I want my account code and my account description. I want a distinct, so only one row by account. I don't want to show my headers because it's already there. And do I want to refresh that list as soon as I open my workbook? I'll say yes, and I'll say okay. And I will get that list of GL accounts automatically. Okay? Next thing that I want to do is get my opening balance for those GL accounts. In that case, instead of doing data extraction, I will do a dynamic formula. So let's do a formula together. Always the same window for the formula editor, no matter what type of information you're accessing. First question is what I want to access. I want to access my GL account detail. What field? I want to access my ledger posting. So where's my ledger posting? Okay, there we go, ledger posting. Do I want to do a sum reversal? So for your income statement, you want to reverse your amount. For the sales, okay, you want to reverse it. In my case, I don't want to reverse it. So I'll do a regular sum. The sum debit and credit, it's in the case that you want to display the amount in the debit only if the total is a debit, or in the credit only if the total is a credit. Today, it's not what I want to do. So I will do a regular sum, and then I need to filter my data. I want my sum of my posting for my fiscal year. I could do a from to, but it's not what I want. I really want a specific fiscal year. I could type it here, or if I want everything to be dynamic, I will go on the top and select my fiscal year in my cell D1. For my period, I'll do from period 0 to include the opening balance, of course. But I want my opening up to the current period. So from period 0 to my, what I call my last period. So up to the end of the period just before my current period. Okay? And I want to select for a specific account code. I could type my account code here manually again. I could call my list of account code from my prompt window, or I could simply use my cell picker again and say it's my account in the cell A10. I want to remove my $sign to be able to copy that over, and I say okay. Now we'll get my opening for that specific GL account. I'll copy that cell inside the credit, and I will change the formula. It's, again, my ledger posting, it's not what I want, so I will just change it for ledger debit instead. So ledger debit, I want to do a sum. And my filter, the only thing that I want to do is change my period. It's not from period 0 to period 7. It's really my current period. So what is my credit, my posted credit amount in the current period? So we'll just say, okay, I'll get my credit. I don't have any. So let's go in the debit. And I will change ledger debit for ledger credit. So ledger credit here, and it's still a sum, and it's still the same filter. So it's done okay. And I don't get any debit here. My posting is equal to my credit plus my debit, and my ending is equal to my opening plus my posting. I could copy those cells over by dragging stuff, or I could just recall my data extraction feature here. So the data extraction, oops, not from here, sorry, from my data extraction refresh. So it will just populate all my other cells. Okay. So now I get all my trial balance. And of course, if I change the year, it will get refreshed. If I change the period, it will get refreshed as well. The only thing that I did not do is select my department. I just realized that I forgot it. I'll just change here my formula, and I will add the analytical department from my cell D4. Star means all my departments, so I'm doing a consolidated report right now. And then I can copy my cell over, of course, and I did copy all my formatting. Okay. We'll leave it like that for now. So let's call my credit, and my credit I want to do analytical department as well from the top. You will understand after why I want to show you that specifically. And my debit, same thing. So I will select my analytical department and say OK, and copy that. Okay. So now all my numbers are up to date. If I want to change my department, I don't know them by heart, I can call the prompt function and select a prompt for my department here, and it will show me all the departments. And then I can select admin and maybe 1 or 2 or 3 departments, say OK, and then I will get the amount for those specific departments. I can put back a star, and it will reconsolidate everything. And of course, I can, from any of those cells, do my drill down, and it will show me my transaction detail. And I can also use what we call the duplicator function. So if I want to create one trial balance by department, I'll call my duplicator and ask to duplicate by department. So let's call department, and my department is located in the cell D4. If I say OK, it will create me, I don't know, 8, 9, or 10 different trial balance here by department. So for sales, I have just that here in the bottom. Purchasing, painting, packaging, kitchen, etc., etc. And here I got just few things. Empty, I got more stuff. And finally, my consolidated one. So very easy to duplicate a report multiple times based on the existing department, product line, or anything that you want. So this is another feature that we have that is pretty useful. Last thing that I want to show you is what we call the pivot. So just create a pivot on the fly without having to know anything about SQL or things like that. So I'm just clicking on the pivot table. I'm choosing my data source. So it could be my GL transaction, inventory, sales order. It could be anything that I want. Let's see, why not orders? I choose my environment. Do I want to filter my data or not? I say OK. And then an Excel pivot is created automatically for me. And then I can just pick my, my columns from here and just start to drag and drop here, and I can group my stuff and do whatever I want here. So my margin, my quantity return, things like that. So do I have better stuff here? Let's go back a little bit. Maybe this margin, Assam. Okay, those was count, not very good. Okay, and what I want to get maybe here is my year. Okay, there we go. My year, I want to add it like that. So by year, by customer. And again, you can have fun with that, okay? So it's Excel, so I can, if I want collapse my stuff, so let's do a collapse here. I can go in my design and change my layout. I can go in my option, add pivot chart. This is all Excel now, okay? It's linked directly to my ERP, but it's Excel. And of course, if I explode, then it gets exploded in my pivot as well. In my option, I can add calculated field. I can insert slicer. So why not inserting a slicer by, I don't know, build to country and maybe order type or company, okay? Project, territories, things like that. So I'm getting multiple slicer now. And then I can say, show me only my Canada stuff, my US stuff, both, only this company here. And of course, from any of those numbers, I can right click and do a show detail, and then I get my detail information. Okay? So I went pretty fast in all those options because there's so much to show, and there's many more, but it's giving you a good idea of what the product can give you. And you can also add views directly in Nectari if you want inside your dashboard. It's also something possible to do without any problem. So for me, it will be it will be all for now. So I hope that you love the product and that you will use it very soon. So you can get back the control, Alec or Brian. Thank you.
Okay, Alec, you should have control now.
Okay, hold on. Okay, thank you, Guy. Thank you. So in closing, you saw Nectari. We talked about the feature functionality and how we can integrate Nectari into your environment. So are there any questions from the audience about Nectari, anything at all? Any questions?
Again, everyone should type the questions into the question or the chat box for us to find them. And there was only one question, Alex, so far. It was about pricing.
Okay. Pricing, Nectari is priced as a concurrent user license. And there is a license per specific type of user, whether it's a mobile, web interface, or the Excel add-in component. And each one of these licenses are concurrent. So if you have two licenses, you can have anybody with access to Nectari access the system, assuming you have, if you have 5 concurrent user licenses, you can have 5 people at one time access Nectari, whether given the license of mobile web interface or the Excel add-in. So it's not tied to a user. So if you want to economize your solution, you can get a lower number of users and then pass access around to your organization. So that's how pricing is structured. Any more questions? Brian?
There are no other questions at this point.
Okay. Well, thank you all for attending. Have a great afternoon, and we'll be in touch. Thank you. Bye-bye.